Hi everyone, how you all doing? It's great to see you all again. It's been a bit, hasn't it? But I'm glad to see all of you again in this live stream format. The last couple things I did like this live streams were over on my private Discord server with the Patreon members, where we did watch parties and we were having discussions about the movie that we watched, as well as other discussions too. So it's cool to come back and speak to the rest of you and all of you, even patrons are here. It's good to speak again with all of you here uh, on this format again. And we've got Fireboy, Rohan, we got Joey Nichols here. We got it was Nichols, right? Let me see. Joey Nicholas, sorry, Joey Nicholas. We got Jess here. Arathorn is great to hear. Spider Will is here. Time Shadow, it's great to see you again, Time Shadow. For those of you that don't know, the Time Shadow has been the one that has been editing my some of my videos. So I've given him mainly it's my Let's Watch videos. So the Daredevil Let's Watch videos, he's been editing them for me. And then he gives it to me, then I give it a pass and I put in some extra bits and do some cuts where I want to do them. But yeah, when he puts me in as a shape and puts the footage there and stuff, that's all him. Like I said, I just go through afterwards and make certain alterations. But if it wasn't, give him your thanks right now, because if it wasn't for him, you would not be getting the edited down versions on YouTube, because I just don't have time to edit those while I'm editing versus videos and writing versus videos and other videos too. So if you're enjoying those videos, be sure to give him a thanks, because it's down to him that I'm even getting these edited versions down on YouTube. So a big thanks to Time Shadow. Thanks a lot, bud. He's given me a couple of extra drafts to look at. I haven't looked at them yet. Hopefully I'll do that tonight or tomorrow and then send him some more notes. So a huge thanks to Time Shadow. And he says, "Oh, always a pleasure to do it." Well, thanks, bud. It's pleasure that I've got such a good editor here. And he really catches on to my style very quickly. Like, of course, it takes time to hone in on a style, but he's getting really good. Episode 6 in particular, the way he edited it, I was like, I was having fun watching it. He knew just exactly when to put me in the corner, when to put me in other places of the video so it doesn't cover the footage, when to have me front and center, and then when to have me, like, just cut the footage out altogether and just show me on the screen. He really knows how to do that. He's getting much better at that, and he's really putting it in the edit in places where it's like I would actually do it if I was editing. So he's really good. So Time Shadow has done a fantastic job. So huge thanks to him. I'll say that to you right now, bud. A huge thanks. Fireboy says, how are you, Eric? I'm doing good, thanks, bud. How about yourself? Big Bash says, I love your edits where you have in funny clips from various different shows. Yeah, those are some of the things that I put in when I because that's my specific type of humor. Let's see. Well, thank you, Time Shadow. You really are a lifesaver, says Khan. Yeah, because yeah, that's the only way you'll be able to see edited versions on my channel. I've also put my reaction to the rest of the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 episodes on my Patreon. You'll have already seen a post where I put my reaction to the final episode a few days ago. It's already on my Patreon, so if you don't want to wait for the edited versions, then you can head on over to Patreon and you'll get the unedited versions, where you see my entire reaction to the whole episode, and my extended thoughts at the beginning and end of the video. And also, oh, Arathorn has finally finished Born Again Season 2. Oh, great. I thought it would take you a while longer to watch it. I'm glad you were able to go through it. Also, for those of you that don't know, I've also shot my Punisher One Last Kill reaction. I watched it for the first time, and I recorded my reaction, and I'm going to edit that soon and put that up on my Patreon too. Again, uncut. I don't know if I'll have that one edited for YouTube, though. I'll probably move on to other edits for YouTube reactions. But that will be up on the Patreon very soon as well. Fireboy, yes, I have seen Punisher Last Kill, and I'll give you my thoughts on it soon. I actually wrote a script of a video for that today, and I also wrote a script for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, so I've got a video coming about that as well. So stay tuned. I've got 2 videos of those coming up, one for Daredevil, one for Punisher. And then I've also got the Versus videos coming as well, so I've got a lot of work to do. And when the new Mando and Grogu movie comes out, I'll also try to review that as well. Oh, Arathorn binged it in 3 days. Cool. hope you enjoyed the show, because you guys know that I who have seen it, you'll know that I have had thoughts about the final episodes. I really well, I don't want to give anything away. You have to wait and see. Okay. Dark Lord of the Sith says, "Sorry guys, won't be here much today. Busy watching Maul and loving it to pieces." I still haven't seen Maul. I want to see Maul. Really excited to see it because I've heard some good things. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably gonna watch The Boys first because we got the final episode coming out next week, and I've been able to avoid Maul spoilers, but I don't know if I'll be able to avoid The Boys spoilers. They might, get spoiled for me. And I just recently finished watching Gen V season 2, finally, and I think there's going to be connections between Gen V season 2 in The Boys season 5. So I'm glad I finally got to finish watching that. Howdy, Eric, says Trevor. Howdy back to you as well. Uh, let's see. Jess says, "Hey Eric, I was talking to Sarah on Discord and asked if we can all have a video chat after the stream, and she said yes. Um, cool. If you guys all want to jump in and have a video chat, I probably won't be there because I'm going to be very busy editing. Like I said, the videos I've got the Daredevil video, the Punisher video to edit as well as my versus videos. So I won't have time to jump onto the Discord now. But if I stop and you guys are still in the call, I might jump on and say hi. But you guys know that our scheduled calls are every 2 weeks on Discord where we watch a movie together. So yeah. Crazy Cat Lady says Maul is really good. Yeah, I've heard everyone say Maul is really good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving that a watch. But yeah, The Boys first. And Arathorn says, "Been binging The Boys today. So much better than season 4. Oh, cool. Yeah, season 4, I was not a fan of that. It felt like a filler season. Like they could have said everything they wanted to say in like 6 episodes. So they didn't really need was it 6? Or am I thinking something? Basically, a lot less episodes than they ended up doing. I can't remember how much episodes there was in season 4. Was it 8 or 10? Basically, I thought there was too much, and I thought they could have done everything they wanted in much less episodes, but they did too many. Oh, we can watch the stream on video chat right now, says Goat. Oh, that's an interesting idea. If you watch the stream live whilst being live on a Discord video call, Goat went into the movie lobby. You might want to go into the relax and chill lobby, Goat. Probably, I think that's probably the more appropriate one, but any lobby will do, where you can all go and chat together. All right. Let's see. So I'm going to let you guys know right now, this is not going to be a long live stream. This will only be about an hour because, like I said, I've got a lot of videos to work on. I need to get to work on them. I've also been editing my K-pop review for King of the Monsters 2021, so that you'll get a K-pop Demon Hunters review very soon. Hopefully in the next few days, you'll get that review up if everything goes according to plan and hopefully no copyright claims. You'll get that coming up, so that'll be something for you to watch as well. And then, of course, you'll have the reactions over on my Patreon, and then eventually edited down onto YouTube too. So, plenty of stuff coming. Chicken Wing 31 says, "Do you like Godzilla King of the Monsters more than Godzilla vs Kong, Eric?" Yes, I do. Hang on, let me think. Let me reflect. Yes, I do. I like the action a lot in Godzilla vs. Kong. There's a lot of stuff to like in that movie, but I just thought the second Godzilla movie did a lot more for me in terms of just a standalone Godzilla film. But I did like Godzilla vs. Kong. It was the second one I was not too fond of. Joshman says, "Eric, can you please read my comments before we get started with the stories?" Where is your comments? Rohan says, "Like season 5, it's not a bad season, but it's not a good season. I do feel like there's some parts where I do feel a bit irritated to the point." Are you talking about The Boys? That's interesting. Let's see here. Spider Will says, "Are you planning to do reaction to the Spider Noir series?" I said I would. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I can. Yeah, hopefully if it depends how busy I am, but hopefully I can. I'll say this, at worst, if I can't react to all the episodes, I'll make sure I try to react to at least the final episode in front of you guys. Thing is, Spider Noir is going to be coming out, like all the episodes they're going to release in one day. So I'm thinking if I should do a reaction on Patreon or if I should just do a let's binge watch video potentially for my YouTube channel. That's hoping there's going to be no claims, because you guys remember what happened with It. I intended to make that a let's watch, and then, Welcome to Dairy, it got claimed like crazy. Um, so yeah. Oh, Anime is here. Thanks for joining, Anime. Great to see you. All right, so with that said, let's get to the stories. Cole is here as well. Hi, Cole. Great to see you. Trevor, Logan is here as well. All right. Yeah, average 11 p.m. stream. Yeah, don't worry. This will be a 1 hour stream. It's not going to be as long. Okay, so uh, as always, when I speak through, when I go through these stories, I won't be able to answer any of your questions because I'm going to be focusing on the stories at hand. However, if you want me to answer your question immediately, then all you got to do is a super chat or a Streamlabs chat, which is pinned in the comment section on the live chat, and is also in the description. And if you do that, your comment will pop up on screen, and you'll see it on screen with a nice sound effect and a nice graphic. And I'll answer your question immediately. Otherwise, I'll read your questions later if they're in the live chat, because this way I can stay focused on the stories. So, with that said, let's get to our first story. Now, our first story is something that I actually heard a few days ago now, and it's this. Greg Mottola high on the list for DC's Deathstroke and Bane movie. Hang on, is it not? Oh, there you go, it has. I thought it hadn't shown you the slide. All right. Time Shadow, I've missed you on the live streams as well. I've noticed that when you weren't here, but I'm glad that you're here now, so great to see you. All right, let me just fix my image. Hold on. There we go. All right, Greg Mottola high on the list for DC's Deathstroke and Bane movie. Now, Greg Mottola, who is he? He is a name that I felt like was familiar, but I could not remember. Now, hi Wise. Greg Mottola, he's directed a couple movies that are very telling as to what kind of movie DC's Deathstroke and Bane movie might be. This is a movie in James Gunn's DCU. Now, as soon as you see a couple of the movies that Greg Mottola has directed, you're going to probably have some concern. The first movie he directed that is of note is Superbad, a movie that I've always wanted to see. I haven't seen it yet, but it's meant to be a very comedy-heavy movie. And the other movie he's directed, which I also haven't seen, but I've heard so many things about, and not particularly good things, is a film called Keeping Up with the Joneses. Now, what do both of these movies have in common? They are both comedy movies. And that is what made me have some concern for this. Hi, Love Grizzly Polar Bear. That's what made me have some concerns over this. He is high on the list for DC's Deathstroke and Bane movie, and he's known for directing comedies. He even directed an episode or two of Peacemaker as well. Now, this is actually very concerning to me, because when I heard that they were going to make a Deathstroke and Bane movie, it was a very bizarre movie to make. It's such a random combination, Bane and Deathstroke. But I was like, hey, if they make it a movie about villains, then cool. And maybe it could be a darker movie, because these are two Batman villains, essentially. And Deathstroke and Bane are much darker villains. But sadly, if this is true, and James Gunn's looking to hire a comedic director, that could mean that this could end up being a comedic movie. That means that not only are we having another James Gunn comedy on our hands, but these are two Batman villains, and they are going to be very comedic. That is something that, if that is the case, I am not looking forward to this, and this is already dead on arrival for me. He might try to say, well, it's an R-rated comedy. I don't care. I don't want to see a comedy with Batman characters. I don't think that's wise. And also, he already turned one more serious character into a comedic character. That was Vigilante in Peacemaker. Vigilante is a much more serious character. Even in Arrow Season 5, he was, if I recall correctly, he was the villain in Season 5, and there he was a more serious character, but leave it to James Gunn to turn him into a comedic character. Now, I'll give him a pass on that, because Vigilante is not a well-known character, and he was really cool how James Gunn made him. He was his own likable kind of character and very funny. But it was in Is I just can't imagine him turning Deathstroke and Bane into comedy characters because these characters are very well known. Deathstroke, people might not know him as Deathstroke, but Slade from Teen Titans. And yes, there are versions of Deathstroke that we have seen in other animated movies and games from Batman. To turn him into a comedy character, I think is just in very poor taste, given how dark this character is supposed to be. And Bane, we all know who Bane is. I've never seen Bane as a comedic character, except for when they're parodying Christopher Nolan's Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Then he's more comedic. But to actually make Bane comedic in a live action movie, I think that's a very bad call, especially considering that this is supposed to be the Bane that is going to end up going up against James Gunn's actual Batman that he gets that he eventually introduces. So I don't like what James Gunn has done if this is what he is going for. And also, why would he hire this guy to direct Deathstroke and Bane? It would be a lot better if he hired someone who knows how to direct action sequences, like Gareth. I always get these two confused. Gareth Edwards, I think is his name, the guy that directed the Raid movies. He originally was going to direct a gangster like mafia like Deathstroke solo movie back when the Snyderverse was in play, and that never ended up materializing. Sadly, it just never they never picked up with him, and it never went anywhere. But if they got him to come over and make a movie with Deathstroke and Bane, that would be really cool. I'm surprised no one has called him up, the Raid director. But if they made a movie with the Raid director actually helming the project, I would actually really be interested in that. But instead, no, we've got this director with this filmography. And I don't think this is a good call. I really don't think this is a good call. I think this is just James Gunn doing what we feared James Gunn would do, which is turn DC into more of a comedy thing rather than a serious thing, especially with characters that are important, like Batman characters. You wouldn't expect him to do that, but he has, and I really, really dislike this. So, with that said, what do you guys think? We still can hold, we can't, have final judgment on this yet, but I think that the writing is pretty much on the wall with what he's intending to do with this if he's looking at directors like this, and this guy is high on the list. That is very concerning to me. So let's see, what do you guys think? Uh, oh, everyone, did you hear that Matthew Lillard is going to be in Man of Tomorrow? I have heard that he's going to be in a DC movie. I didn't know it was Man of Tomorrow. His track record is bad, just bad, says Rohan. Mm-hmm. I forgot this was a thing, says Crazy Cat Lady. Yep, apparently it is a thing. Jess says, that Greg guy better not make this DC movie like Deadpool for being comedic, says Jess. I hope so too. I really hope it isn't. Oh my goodness, please not another comedy. I do not think a Deathstroke and Bane comedy movie is a good idea. I would say that is one of the worst ideas for a movie like that. I think so too. Plus, people didn't even like the fact that Supergirl was very much leaning into the comedy-heavy aspects, especially because it looked like a typical James Gunn comedy, and they wanted Supergirl to stand on its own with its own unique tone. James Gunn promised that, but Supergirl doesn't look like that. It looks more like something else out of James Gunn's style, is what it looked like. Another comedy with space pirates and set design very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. No one wanted to see that from a Supergirl movie, but that's what James Gunn has essentially commissioned with the Supergirl film. And now we're getting Clayface, which is cool. That's something different, but now we're also getting this. And this looks like it's just another freaking comedy. I don't like what James Gunn is doing. And interestingly, Matt Reeves, who is directing the Batman Part 2, he's putting casting information out there on his Twitter page, and he is getting far better word of mouth and hype and viewership over his Batman movie than James Gunn is getting with any of these projects, particularly with Supergirl and now with this. So, yeah, James Gunn is you expect him to know better if this really is what he's intending to do, and I hope that it's not. I don't want to see a comedy here. Really destroyer. Holy shit, what this world is going to. Yes, I think I get what you mean. Why do superhero movies always have to be comedies, says Fireboy? They don't always have to be comedies, but you get people like James Gunn who are very comedic directors, and they just keep pushing for this stuff. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm glad Matt Reeves is keeping his universe and his Batman separate from James Gunn, because I do not trust James Gunn. with darker characters, especially Batman. He needs to prove himself when it comes to stuff like that, and I don't think he's proved himself yet. Time Shadow says first Marvel and now DC, comedy's taking over everything. It is. Although, here's hoping Marvel, I think they're trying to step back from comedy. You can see we got Daredevil Born Again Season 2, thankfully had no Marvel comedy in it. The Punisher, a short special that came out, One Last Kill, also had no MCU comedy in it. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I don't know. Maybe that will have MCU comedy. We'll have to watch and see. But it seems like they're trying to lean in more to the sort of like gloomier side of things a little bit, which is good because too much comedy in the previous Spider-Man films from the MCU. So I'm glad about that. So I think Marvel are trying to step back from the whole comedy thing because it's gotten them a lot of bad publicity essentially, and people have really just been turned off to it. But meanwhile, while they're stepping away from that, looks like DC, at least James Gunn's DC, is stepping more into it. And Clayface is a horror movie, but Clayface was meant to be a horror movie before James Gunn even came on board. It was intended to be a horror movie. So he's kind of just taking an idea that he didn't commission, but someone else was doing. So I would like for him to commission something like that on his own from scratch, not just taking someone else's work and say, see, I'm doing a horror movie. It's like, yeah, but that was set up by someone else. You set up a horror movie or a more serious movie yourself, and then we'll see if you have range with how you manage these projects. But if he doesn't set these up himself and he's just picking someone else's project and saying, see, it's a darker film, I don't have confidence in that. That doesn't feel like it's truly coming from James Gunn. A YouTuber called Henry Thomas Picture said he liked James Gunn's Superman, but he thinks it's overrated. And like a lot of people, he thinks James Gunn works better with Misfits than he does with a single hero. I agree too. I think he works better with Misfits than he does any of the more earnest superheroes. You know, he tried with Superman and he did a good job, but the comedy didn't work. Also, I did not like the fact that there wasn't enough downtime where you would just see Superman and Clark Kent, like, just interact with the people. We needed more of that, and there really wasn't any of it in the movie, sadly. Big Bash says, "What did he miss?" Not much. We're just talking about James Gunn and the fact that the Deathstroke and Bane movie could be a comedy because this director he's hiring has made these two comedy movies. And if this guy's high up on the list in the running for the Deathstroke and Bane movie, then it very much could mean that the Deathstroke and Bane movie, which stars two Batman characters, could end up being a comedy, sadly. Did they forget what they did to Terra in the comics with Deathstroke? This is definitely not a funny guy. Yeah, in the comics, that's freaking like messed up. I remember when I was a kid and I heard that, I was like, geez, Louise. So yeah, that's messed up. Um, yes, Deathstroke is not a funny guy at all, and he's my favorite villain in Teen Titans. Like, Ron Perlman did a phenomenal job voicing Slade in that movie. Slade, they used that name because Deathstroke was apparently too violent. Cartoon Network thought for a kids show, so they said that you can't use Deathstroke. So instead, they used Slade. But they really made the name Slade more iconic than Deathstroke to me, honestly. So yeah, Jish says hi. Oh, hi. Let's see. Teen Titans 2003 was perfect. It was, except for that final episode ending on that note. I mean, seriously, that was just bad. Charlton says hi, Eric. I haven't joined a stream in a while, so it's good to be back here. Yeah, that's because I've not done a stream in a while. I didn't do the one 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad you're here as well, bud. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Comics are weird sometimes at Spider Will. Yes, they can be. They can be demented as well. But yeah, the idea that they're going to take this director who's made these comedic movies, and these are just two examples, he's got other films on his filmography, for him to be making this into a comedy and for them to be hiring a comedic director for this, not good. I don't like that. So hopefully it will end up being good. We don't know, but I hope James Gunn has the common sense to know he can't be making comedies out of everything. And imagine if Batman goes up against these characters, it'll just be ridiculous and not dignified like it should be and dark. At least we got Trouble in Tokyo. I thought that was okay. I didn't love that movie, and I didn't like that. Yeah, it technically gave us a better ending than what the Terra episode, the Things Change episode did. But I still wasn't a huge fan of the Trouble in Tokyo movie. Uh, Big Bash says maybe he could adapt his style. I want to try and give him a chance. I hope this guy can adapt his style as well. But even if he could, this is not the best director that I would have chosen for a project like this. Like I said, Gareth Edwards would have been a much better choice. You know, the guy that directed The Raid, as opposed to this dude who directed Superbad and Keeping Up with the Johnsons. You know what I mean? It's just kind of ridiculous. Eric, I will say this: bring these two villains into a comedy movie does not make a lick of sense. I think it is the worst idea. It is, Josh, man. It's not a good idea. Rohan says Teen Titans to me will always have the best adaptation of Deathstroke or Slade, if you want to go by that name. Yeah, I go by that name. Sorry, Jess. Gareth Evans, not Edwards. That's why I see. I get confused by those two because one directed the Jurassic World movie, recent one, and the other one directed the Raid films. I keep getting confused between those names. So yeah. Okay, does anyone else have any questions about this before we move on to the next story? Let's see. Fireboy says, we getting a Deathstroke and Bane team-up movie before a DCU Batman Brave and the Bold. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? They need to... Yeah, they need to find... They need to really get onto their Batman quick. Joshman says, Eric, are you really hoping for Spider-Man Brand New Day to have any body horror elements, mainly with the Man-Spider storyline? Yeah, I said I'm hoping that they do, and they push the PG-13 rating with it, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it. Okay, so... Let's see. They need to stop making supervillain movies. They don't need to stop, but they need to find a way to do it right and not make it a comedy. Charlton says, if it's the Superbad director, it makes me think if Seth Rogen could somehow get involved with this comic book movie project, which seems quite worrying. Yeah, because funnily enough, Seth Rogen has got his name attached to Invincible and The Boys, but I have a strong feeling that his only contributions are the dirty sexual stuff. I have a strong feeling that's all he's contributing to these projects. Uh, it just feels like it's the kind of thing that he would do. Just look at Sausage Party and these other movies he's produced. Uh, Eric, would you agree with the fact James Gunn worked much better with Guardians of the Galaxy, Mystery Inc., and especially the Suicide Squad than he is with superheroes like Superman? Mystery Inc. Did he work on that? Is that the Scooby Doo show? I was not aware he worked on that. Um, Yeah, he does. James Gunn does work better with Misfits than he does with the official like characters. I think so. Yeah, I do think James Gunn works better with those. Yeah, I very much agree with that. Okay, James Gunn directed Slither. Yeah, and he's not done anything like that since. At least that not that I'm aware of. All right, next story: The Batman Part 2. So it's finally filming. It's taken a while, but they're finally filming it. And Matt Reeves on his Twitter has been confirming and announcing a lot of castings recently. So the rumors are true, sadly with some and happily with others. So what are the good rumors? The good rumors. Hold on. I thought I had this here. Looks like I didn't. All right. The good rumors are this. The good rumors is that we've got some good castings in here. Now, we've got returning actors. We've got Robert Pattinson, of course. Barry Keoghan, apparently as Joker, is going to have a bigger role in the movie. We'll have to see. Sebastian Stan is Harvey Dent. We've always been thinking it, and now it's been proven. Colin Farrell is back as Oswald Cobblepot, although he did say that he's going to have less of a role in this than he did in the first movie, which is surprising. Jeffrey Wright is back as Gordon. Jamie Lawson's back as Bella Royale. We've got Officer Martinez, who I'm glad is returning because I actually liked him in the first movie. We've got Sebastian Koch, who I don't know who he's playing. Brian Tyree Henry is in here, which I do know what he's playing. I'll tell you that in a bit and what I think about that. And then we've also got Charles Dance. Now, this is very interesting. He's a Game of Thrones actor. And it's very interesting that he's in this because I've heard a lot of different rumors that they were trying to get different actors to come in, and they wanted different actors to come in and play the role of Christopher Dent, who's Harvey Dent's father. And one of the actors that they wanted was Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings. And I thought that was actually some interesting casting. We haven't seen him in a movie in a long time, at least a mainstream movie. And to have him in this would have actually been cool. But either he turned it down or someone else said no, he can't. So he's not in the movie, and we're getting Charles Dance, who's a great actor, but he's almost a bit like a Game of Thrones, like he's a kind of like a TV actor more in a way. So we'll see how he does. And I think he can do the role very well. But I liked the idea of Aragorn, of Viggo Mortensen being in the movie. But sadly, that's not happening. Apparently, they were struggling to get someone to play this role. So we'll see what the role is. I think it's because the role is cruel. All right, so yeah, now Brian Tyree Henry, another MCU actor. I know he was in Joker, but he was more of a cameo in Joker. He was in Eternals. Brian Tyree Henry apparently is going to be playing Bullock, who, if you remember, he was in the Batman animated series, and he was also in the show Gotham as well. And yeah, I don't like that. Bullock is normally a white guy, so yes, they did race bend. You guys know how I feel about race bending, but I do trust Matt Reeves with race bending, so I'll give him a chance to see if he did a good job with the race bend. But my problem with Brian Tyree Henry is that I don't hate him. I've never seen him in a role where I'm like, I hate that guy. I think he's actually very likable in all the movies he's in. He was even in the Child's Play remake, and I liked him in there as well. But to cast him as Harvey Bullock, someone who's meant to be very unlikable, I don't see how he can play that. I think he's not. I don't know if he has it in him to play someone that despicable. So hopefully they do it right. Hopefully they do it good, but that is something that kind of bugs me. I think they could have done better casting here. But who knows? Maybe Matt Reeves saw something that we didn't. But it's not been confirmed that he's Bullock. Although someone did suggest it, apparently someone did suggest it on Twitter that he could be playing Bullock, and Matt Reeves gave it a heart. So maybe that's him trying to throw us off. He liked that tweet. Maybe that's him trying to throw us off. Maybe that is because the person got it right, and that's why he liked it, and he was trying to tell us. Either way, I don't like that. If that is the case, I don't like that they got him to play Bullock, but we'll see. I trust Matt Reeves, so we'll see what he does. We'll see how he does. Okay, now, the not so cool thing of this is Scarlett Johansson. Now, Sebastian Stan, I've said he's a great actor. He can look just like Bucky in these other darker movies he's in, and you don't even see Bucky or the Winter Soldier in him. He is that good of an actor. Scarlett Johansson, though, she's going to be playing Gilda Dent. I've said this before, and I still think it. I do not like that they've hired Black Widow, an A-list an A-list actor from the Avengers into a Batman movie. I really don't like that. It feels too obvious. Like, I think a lot of these actors, they're new to the superhero world, including Robert Pattinson in particular, like, he's very new. Colin Farrell has not been in a comic book movie since the Daredevil back in, like, the early 2000s. So, and we've got Jeffrey Wright, who's not been in a comic book movie before. And we had Zoe Kravitz. She had been in X-Men First Class, but that was a long, long time ago, and that is a very different universe. She was only in one movie. So I like the fact that we had these new actors, even Barry Keoghan. Well, actually, he was in the Eternals, wasn't he? That's another Eternals. But no one cares about Eternals. And Barry Keoghan playing Joker, that's a big character, so he's going to be very different. He's not going to be recognizable. So I like the fact that these are all actors that are kind of like new to the whole to the whole DC thing, and they're in a Batman movie, so you don't associate them with anything else. Scarlett Johansson, you are very easily going to associate her with Black Widow, and I don't think we are that far away from her Black Widow appearances that I can separate her from Black Widow as of yet. So I'm they really need to make sure that she transforms her performance in order to make her a good Gilda Dent. Also, Gilda Dent is a very mousy woman, and Scarlett Johansson, I don't know if she can play that. Someone who's that pulled back, that reserved. Hopefully, she'll play nice with Matt Reeves and she'll do it. And I also hope they don't put her front and center because that will be distracting. So yeah, Sebastian Stan, I think I can see him working in Matt Reeves' universe. Scarlett Johansson, not really, but hopefully they give her a really good wig, a black one, and like, make her hair look smaller, make her look mousier, like I said, as a character. And maybe that can work. But yeah, I still don't like that they've cast her. I'd much prefer if they got someone else. So yeah, so Sebastian Stan, great casting, but he's not an A-list Avenger like Black Widow is. He's a B or even C-list Avenger, but I'll probably just give him B. He's a B-list Avenger, and you don't, like I said with him, you don't see Sebastian Stan when he's in these other movies. Trust me, like he's in like was it a movie called Fresh or something on Disney Plus where he plays a cannibal, and then there's another movie where he's with starring with opposite Tom Holland where he's trying to go after him. And because Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan both make fun of Tom Holland and they poke fun at him, I thought seeing him looking like he does, Sebastian Stan, he looked exactly the same as he does in real life, and as Bucky. I was like, it's just going to look funny watching him run after Tom Holland, who also looked just like himself, like they didn't change their appearances. But watching it, I didn't even laugh at all. It genuinely felt threatening. They were both very good actors in it. And I was like, you know what? Sebastian Stan in particular, he's like a chameleon. It's like even though he looks like himself, you don't see any of his other characters in him. You don't even really see him in him. So it's he's done a so I think he's a very good actor to where he can be in a movie like this and it won't be distracting. Scarlett Johansson, on the other hand, I think it would be very distracting. It was called Fresh then, Charleston. That's good. Thanks for letting me know. Charleston says his performance in Fresh kind of messed me up, uh, but in a way that made me feel impressed about his performance. Yeah, even my brother who was watching, he was kind of like just like, nope, 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 no, you can't put Scarlett Johansson in the movie. And when I mentioned, because he was like really against, the things that I said where he thinks it's really distracting. And Sebastian Stan, he wasn't, at first he was going to say the same thing about him, but I said, no, trust me, he's a very good actor. And I said, that's me saying that. And my brother knew when that's me saying that means it must be really good. So he's watched it. And when we both watched that movie Fresh, and he thoroughly agreed. He says, yep, he's perfectly happy with him being in the Batman. And yeah, to see him do Two-Face, that could be fun. And I wonder how far they're going to go with the effect of Two-Face. I really am curious to see how far they'll go with that. That could be really fun. So, yeah, we'll see how they do. I'm still looking forward to this movie, and and it's going to be snowing in the film. And someone actually said to Matt Reeves that it was my dream to basically see Batman bleeding in the snow, all bloodied up in the snow. And Matt Reeves says, "Wish granted" or something, basically to say that it's actually going to be happening. So that means that we're going to see Batman bloodied up in the snow. So what threat? Who is he going to be fighting that will have him be bloodied up? Will the cops be after him? I have no idea, but we'll have to see. Now, I don't know Sebastian Koch. I don't know who he is playing. He doesn't seem to have any credits under his name. So they're still holding that information, close to the chest. And also, we don't have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman returning in this, and that's actually a good thing because these movies, the Batman Part 1, the Penguin, and the Batman Part 2 take place like within a couple of months of each other. So if she left Gotham and then came back in like a month later or something, and she acts like this completely different person, that would not fit. And Matt Reeves actually said in the Batman commentary at the very end, he said that if she stayed if Bruce Batman told her to stay, she would have stayed. But he instead said, "Take care of yourself," and she left. And he says that means the person that she ends up coming back as might not be the person she was when she left. So that means that in order for that change to happen with someone, they need to be gone for a while. So I'm glad she's not in the second movie because when she probably does return, say in the third movie, she will have more of a different personality. She will change a lot more. And when she changes, it will make sense. She's been gone for a while. Whereas if she came back in the second movie a month later, all changed, a month later in the continuity, it would feel like, wait, why are you acting completely different? You just saw each other not so long ago. Now you're acting like a completely different person. What the hell's up with that? But if she's gone for several months, maybe even a couple years, we don't know if there's going to be a time jump between the Batman Part 2 and 3. It will make sense why she comes back very different and more the Catwoman villain that we know. So I like that she's not in this movie in that regard. It makes sense regarding the continuity. So I think that's good. Crazy Cat Lady says, I forgot that I thought they would get Scarlett Johansson to be Poison Ivy since they both have red hair. Yeah, but in movies, they always wear wigs and things. They always change their hair color, don't they? And Scarlett Johansson doesn't have red hair, does she? It's been blonde. I think I've always seen it. Um, but yeah, ultimately, it's Matt Reeves. I have trust in him, and we'll see how he does it. The movie's apparently meant to be a really bold swing, so I'm curious. I wonder if it's another. I wonder if it's another 3-hour movie. But it has taken a heck of a long time to get started with the shooting. But hey, it takes him a while to get the script done, but he got it done, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, oh, Josh Man, you're quite right. You said I forgot to mention Andy Serkis. Yeah, he's going to be in it. Interestingly, there's an interview that came out with him recently where he said that that he's figured it out how to be in this movie because he's shooting the new Lord of the Rings movie, The Hunt for Gollum, and he has to play Gollum in that movie and direct it. And it was actually going to be a struggle because around the time he was directing the Lord of the Rings movie, he also had to shoot his role as Alfred in the Batman Part 2. So there was a bit of a conflict there in terms of scheduling. And he said in an interview recently that they figured it out, thankfully. So he will be in the movie. Imagine if Alfred couldn't be in the movie. But I think they wouldn't allow that. I think they would probably rearrange that for reshoots or something to get Alfred in if they couldn't get him in during the normal shooting schedule. So if they couldn't get him in through the normal shooting schedule, I'm sure that's what they would have done. But thankfully, they've got him in the normal shooting schedule, so should all be good. Eric, the snow could be a nod to Mister Freeze joining in. That might be Sebastian's role. No, Sebastian is Two Face. Sebastian Stan's going to be playing Two Face. And Scarlett Johansson is Gilda Dent. She's playing his wife. That's another distracting thing, is that Winter Soldier is going to be married to Black Widow. That's too distracting, that is. So, like I said, they've really got to wig Scarlett Johansson up and just change her appearance. I don't want to see any resemblance of Black Widow there, and I don't want her voice to reflect Scarlett Johansson, and Black Widow. So I hope she has more of a mousy voice to her. I just don't want to see Scarlett Johansson in the role at all. It's very weird to see Black Widow, an A-list Avenger, in a Batman movie. That's just so strange. Dylan says, you should watch Superbad. It's one of my favorite comedy movies ever. Yeah, I've always wanted to watch it for a while now, but I haven't been able to. So hopefully at some point I will. Maybe before the movie comes out, you could do a Discord watch of the Batman. Yeah, we probably could. That's a 3-hour long watch party. Um, but yeah, probably could. So Garrett, uh, Garrett, are you a member of the Discord? Are you? It's hard to keep track sometimes. I've got like 20 of you now, or just under 20 of you. Lazy castings. I wouldn't say it's lazy castings because apparently Matt Reeves did want Emma Stone to play Gilda Dent originally, and I think that would have been much better casting because she's only been in 2 Spider-Man movies, and those have been out for a very long time now, so enough time has passed. But she declined it for some reason, so such a shame. That's why Scarlett Johansson ended up getting it, and I really wish she didn't. She could have gone for that Tangled live action remake, but instead she went to Batman. 10 Rexy, hi, great to see you, bud. Um, yeah, Eric, you were surprised how good the Snyder Cut was. There are good chances Christina could write a good Batman movie, considering you like the Flash movie. That's the Flash, though. The Flash doesn't really have high standards in terms of movies, but Batman, his standards in terms of quality are so incredibly high. So you can't be skimping out on writers. I mean, the previous writers we've had for Batman are Christopher Nolan and Matt Reeves for standalone Batman movies. So to go from them to the writer of Bumblebee and The Flash, And Birds of Prey, I don't like that writer. That's not a good writer, I don't think. Like a good choice. They could have gone for so much better choices, but they went for that, and that's what's frustrating about it. So, James Gunn, if he thinks that she can write, Christina Hodson can write a good Batman movie, he better be damn sure because everyone, it doesn't matter if he makes 10 good DCU movies, if he screws up with a Batman movie, that is it. People are not going to let him live that down. So he cannot mess up with this. So if he thinks that she's a good writer for Batman, he better be damn sure because no one is going to let him off if this movie is bad. Me neither. I'm not going to let him off either if this is a bad movie. So even if it's a good movie, that's not good enough. A Batman movie has to be great. At minimum, it has to be great. And I'm applying that even to Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2. A Batman movie at minimum has to be great because the bar has just been raised that high. You cannot skimp on it, or you can't say, well, that was a good movie. For Batman, good is bad, or mediocre, or below average. Because, like I said, when you saw my video, if you've seen that video with the Christina Hodson thing, I said it's like when someone like grades much higher and therefore they've raised the curve and your A's have gone from A's to B's and your B's have gone to C's now because the bar has been raised. That's the situation with Batman, and you can't skimp when it comes to the writer and stuff with something like Batman, and I feel like James Gunn has skimped, and the only one this is really going to hurt in the end is him. Because on the plus side, we do have Matt Reeves making these what I call the true Batman movies, and James Gunn's going to be calling them Elseworlds, but I look at them as the real Batman movies. And if James Gunn's version sucks, well, we'll all be looking at Matt Reeves as the real one, regardless of if James Gunn puts an Elseworld tag on there or not. Nolan hates CGI, says Jess. No, he doesn't hate CGI. He still uses CGI. You just got to know when to use it, as because it's a tool, isn't it? And you can't overly rely on one tool to do everything for you. And that's what Nolan doesn't like, and that's what a lot of us don't like. Everything is CGI now. Remember back in the day, they used to build sets and train animals to make a movie, but everything is CGI, and that's upsetting. And that's upsetting because there's no effort in filmmaking. There's still effort. Hi, Spirit Hero. Great, glad to see you are here. No, there is still an effort with some movies, like in terms of the dogs. You said trained dogs, for example. We saw that in John Wick recently. 3 and 4. I can't remember if Ballerina had some dogs too in there. I think it did. But we've seen them use dogs in movies, so they've still trained dogs. There are still movies with great production. Look at Dune, for example. Part 3 is coming out this year as well, and I can tell you without a doubt it will have far better filmmaking than Avengers Doomsday that will come out the same day. So no, there's still movies out there that do proper filmmaking. But yeah, there are a lot that don't, and that does worry and concern me. I mean, we still have Evil Dead movies that to this day are using a lot of practical effects, so that's cool. Imagine how far that could have gone into CGI, but it didn't. But I do get what you're talking about for sure, definitely. George Lucas overly relied on CGI when it came to the Star Wars prequels. He did. That was a flaw, I think. Uh, hmm. So yeah, what do you guys think about Scarlett Johansson being in the movie? Do you see, especially since she's supposed to be married to Sebastian Stan? I said that's distracting in a Batman movie. What do you guys think? I think Sebastian Stan was enough, but to bring Scarlett Johansson, an A-list Avenger, in here, I think that's too on the nose. Okay, the Destroyer says, I don't like it. Rohan says, I don't mind her. Destroyer says, very distracting. Um, Just as Eric, do you agree that Christopher Nolan is a better Batman director because he was the one that made Batman dark again? Well, he didn't just make Batman dark again. He gave him a good story. He gave him a fleshed out origin, more fleshed out than what's in the comics, with the Batman Year One comic. And he did a very good job in terms of like the character development, the world building, many things. It wasn't just the fact that it was dark. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that Christopher Nolan is a great Batman director, but it's not the only reason. As long as she doesn't have too much screen time, I think she might. But here's hoping that yeah, it all stays with Batman in the end, and I hope Two Face gets a lot more than her. Uh, Random unrelated question. Will you watch the new Resident Evil reboot? Yeah, when it comes out, I will. If the character reminds me too much of Black Widow, I don't think I'll like it. Likewise, that's why I said they got to change up her look and change her voice. In the comics, from what I recall, she had a very mousy voice, and you can't hear Scarlett Johansson's voice, her normal voice. That's not reflective of Harvey Dent's wife, of Gilda. So yeah, they need to do that right. Do you think it can beat The Dark Knight? Anything's possible, especially with Batman, but I doubt it. But we'll see. But already with the casting, I'd say casting alone, no. Joshman says, I will say this, Eric. I don't think Scarlett Johansson is a good choice for the Batman Part 2. Yeah, I agree. Do you think it can beat the. Oh, I've already read that. Yeah. Can't unsee and unhear Sebastian Stan and Scarlett Johansson as Bucky and Natasha. Well, Sebastian Stan, you can unsee it. I can pretty much guarantee you that because I've seen him in other movies. He's a very good actor, really good. Scarlett Johansson is not as good as he is. Like I've always seen Scarlett Johansson in her roles. I've never seen another character where I'm like, that's not you. It's always been her. Oh, look at that. We got Bruce Wayne who's donated $5. Forgot to write that down here. Clumsy me. 106. $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Bruce Wayne, for that. Spirit Hero has now done. Wow. That's 2 on the trot. Thank you very much, guys. Bruce Wayne says, which Batman character should be required to use CGI for the big screen? That's a good question. I would say Scarecrow because everything he does is visions and is meant to seem otherworldly. So I would say a mix of practical effects with Scarecrow and CGI could really benefit the crazy nightmare fuel that comes out of his abilities, his power set. So I would say the Scarecrow. That's where you can have a lot of fun with both practical and CGI effects. So I'd say that. Spirit Hero says, sorry, I know I was late. What do you think of the Joker casting with Barry Keoghan? Bruce Wayne, thank you again for another super chat. It's very kind. 3 super chats in like less than a minute. Very kind, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. So what do I think of Joker casting with Barry Keoghan? I think he's not a great casting, but at the same time, I'm open to him. But if you watch that deleted scene from the Batman Part 1 where he's playing Joker, I don't think he was great in that. It felt like he was mimicking other Jokers, in particular Heath Ledger. I saw a lot of Heath Ledger in that performance. So I think that Barry Keoghan can do a good Joker, but they need to reinvent him from what they had in that deleted scene. I just don't think that was doing it. And also they got to work on his design because we've seen little bits of his design, but people they stitched the images together from what we could see of him in the Batman deleted scene because a lot of it was blurred and it didn't look like a very good design. It looked too messed up. So they got to fix his design too and make sure that it looks good. So yeah, I would think that he's good, but they got to do a better job than what they ended up doing. And in answer to your question, Bruce Wayne, he says take a look at the Long Halloween Part 1 and 2 with Gilda. I have watched that. I can't remember what she's like, but I remember not liking those 2 movies very much. I like the second one better than the first, but I remember I was disappointed. I love the comic. The comic is great. I've read the comic, and I was disappointed. There was just not really much energy or life to the animated movie. But the second part was definitely a lot better. So that's for sure. And man, these donations are just coming in. Jess, thank you very much for the $5. Jess says, hey Eric, do you miss Sebastian as the Winter Soldier? Do you think that Barry's Joker will be better than Jared Leto's version and Bale or Pattinson? That's 3 questions, so let's break it down. Do I miss Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier? Not really. I think they've said everything. I think I would have been more interested in seeing if he was Captain America because clearly, Sam Wilson, was it Sam Wilson? Oh, I've forgotten now. It's like wow. It's like he's completely gotten out of my head. Falcon, basically. I'm done. I've lost all interest, and they did not do a good job with him. So yeah, I would have liked to see him as Captain America as opposed to Sam. So yeah, I will say uh, I don't miss him as the Winter Soldier, but I would have liked to have seen him as Captain America. Do you think that Barry's Joker will be better than Jared Leto? Of course, anyone can be better than Jared Leto. Uh, and which version, Bale or Pattinson? That's a very good question. I would go with Christian Bale. I love Robert Pattinson, but we've only seen him in one movie so far. Christian Bale, we've seen in three. So we need to see more sides to him. I want to see more sides to Batman, like how he interacts with other people, because he pretty much only interacted with Gordon and Martinez, and a couple other cops. But I would like to see further interactions with Batman. Like, how does he react? You know what I mean? Like more conversations, or like how he talks to them. I'd like to see some more of that. So yeah. So thank you very much, Jess, for the super chat, and thank you, Time Shadow, for the donation and for doing it through Streamlabs. That's the much preferred way to do any donations to me if you guys want to do donations. So a huge thanks to Time Shadow for using Streamlabs. A huge thanks to all of you for donating. It all goes towards supporting the channel. But Streamlabs is the best place to do it because I get all the revenue and YouTube doesn't even take a small percentage. But thank you very much, Time Shadow. He says, all these donations reminded me of the good old days when we deliberately prolonged the stream by just doing endless donations. Man, that was fun. Yeah, that did used to happen, didn't it? I remember that. That was fun. Yeah. It was fun, but it was also for me. I remember I used to get tired, but I follow a rule, which is it doesn't matter if we're going to be ending the stream. If someone's on a super chat, I'm going to answer your question. Because a lot of YouTubers, for some reason, when people pay for super chats and they're about to end the stream, they say they keep the money and they don't answer the question. They're like, "All right, bye," and I'm like, "But what about that person that just donated to you?" That's always I've never liked that when I've seen other YouTubers do it. So that's why with me, even though the stream was going on for like 4 hours, I was like, I'm gonna stay on, logged on, and I'm gonna keep answering your guys' questions. And everyone was posing me a lot of questions. So yeah. Have you watched The Boys yet? Says Gary Loke. Not yet. I want to though before this next episode, this final episode comes out. I want to try to binge it and be done in time for that final episode. So yeah, not yet, but I really do want to. I hope that the main villain isn't the Joker. He's so oversaturated. Yeah, so maybe he could be in there as an additional villain, or maybe they could build him up, like not make him the main villain yet, but build him up. Because eventually, I do want to see. You want to see what every interpretation of Batman. You always want to see a version of Joker. You want to see his version of Joker. So as much as oversaturated as Joker is, every Batman that comes out in live action, I want to see their Joker. And not only that, I want the Joker to be the main villain at a point. And you guys know that despite people saying he's oversaturated, the movie's going to make more money than if any other villain showed up in the film. Joker sells a lot. Look at his standalone movie, his first standalone movie. He sold a lot of tickets and got a lot of money, and that was without any Batman. So Joker and Batman both are the most popular characters. And as much as we don't like if they, use more Joker in movies and in Batman, as much as oversaturated as people think he is, they will definitely show up to the theater to see what he's like. Everyone will. Like everyone loves the Joker. As much as they say that they don't like him coming in movies all the time, they'll always be there on day one to see what he's like in the new movie. Everyone's interested in that. Trevor, oh yeah, that's a very good point. I forgot all about that. Trevor says, my theory is that I think the Court of Owls will be the main villains in the Batman Part 2. Yes, I forgot all about that. The Court of Owls are heavily rumored to be in the Batman Part 2. And Matt Reeves has done little teasers, even giving the movie, I can't remember what the movie's name was, but you know how productions have fake names. He even gave it a name which was somehow uh, alluding to the Court of Owls. So I'm very certain the Court of Owls will be in the movie. And given how we know about like the files that have come out recently and everything, and we've heard a lot about the elites, I think this is the perfect time to be releasing a story like that and having Batman face off against them. So yeah, that'll be really fun to see. And the movie's coming out in I'm about a year and a half now, and time flies. So yeah, I'm sure Carter just subscribed. Someone called Carter. Interesting. So yeah, I'm very curious. I'm really curious to see what Matt Reeves does, and I can't wait to see a trailer because Matt Reeves' trailers have been so much fun to watch. So just so much fun. All right. Johnny Depp, because from what I've heard, he was originally going to be in the Dark Knight trilogy. He was. After watching Joker 2, Barry's version better not be a screw up, says Jess. It won't. You know Matt Reeves has better standards than Todd Phillips. Matt Reeves is a very reliable filmmaker. So that's why I don't have lapses in judgment when it comes to him race bending characters, because he did a very good job with Catwoman and with Gordon. And I think he's going to do a very good job if he is doing Bullock, or if it's someone else. We'll have to see what he does with Brian Tyree Henry. But if he's cast these people, I'm hoping he does a good job, and I'm hoping he knows what everyone else sees. So yeah, hopefully he's aware of all that. And I think at the least we are going to get a very good movie at the very least with Matt Reeves. What are your thoughts on the Clayface trailer? I actually did a trailer reaction on my Patreon and on my YouTube memberships, and I think that it looks very good. It was originally meant for Matt Reeves' Batman universe because it was being written before James Gunn even came on as head of DC, and he then decided to bring it over to his universe. James Gunn did. That's why the new Clayface trailer looks very Matt Reeves coded, because it was originally meant for his universe. So that's why the movie looks less like something out of the DCU and more like something out of a Matt Reeves universe movie. Thank you very much for that $2 super chat. These super chats really do help, and these Streamlabs donations. So a huge thanks to everyone for helping support the channel. And be sure to head on, if you're okay with donating this, then be sure to head on over to Patreon, because you'll get perks for your donations. And you could be part of the Discord family server. So, be a Discord family member. So if you're willing, and if it's within your ability to do so, please do become a patron member. We'd always love to have more people on the Discord server. It's great to have a growing community down there. New Lanterns teaser. How was the first teaser? A new Lanterns teaser has come out, has it? I saw James Gunn post on his Instagram today. He said tomorrow a new trailer is coming for Lanterns, unless that was posted yesterday. Um, where is it? Where is it? I will say it did show some Green Lantern abilities in that little teaser trailer that we saw. So that was cool. Like, we actually get to see some Green Lantern stuff finally. Um, hmm. Yeah, the trailer's not released yet. What did I think of the first trailer? I was fine with it, but the problem with the trailer, I was not as mad as other people were, but the problem with the trailer is that it did not give us anything that we didn't already get or ascertain from the promo picture they released. So that was disappointing that they did not release anything further than what the promo picture had released, but it was a teaser. It was really the showrunner's stupid comments about saying green sucks, which was it's just stupid. I don't know why he would say that. Even the comic book writer was really annoyed. Oh, love Grizzly Polar Bear. That's what you meant. That James Gunn wrote the Scooby Doo movies. Oh wait, I thought there was a show. Yeah, there was a show called Mystery Inc. I think that rhymes, and I thought that's what you were referring to, the Scooby Doo show. You should do a video revisiting a series of unfortunate events, says Kip Kibber. Um, I will say there is something nostalgic to me about the series of unfortunate events series, because that's where the whole Versus series of videos started, was with a series of unfortunate events. So yeah, there is. It would be fun to revisit that in some way, but I don't know what video to do to revisit it, and I don't think I have the time to watch all 3 seasons again. I think my videos speak for themselves pretty much. I think my thoughts and opinions are pretty much the same. it would be fun to go over it again, you know, just to even if my opinions are the same, just to speak on it again would be fun. But hmm, hmm. Yeah, I think my videos for series of unfortunate events are really long. My versus video I think was fine in length. My let's binge watch season 2 I think was fine in length, but my binge watch for season 3 was like over an hour. That was my longest video. That took a long time to make, years, because I kept going on and off and I took breaks in between, and yeah, that was a long time coming, that project. But I'm glad you guys really enjoyed it. It's one of the videos I really enjoy because I got a lot of good jokes and things in there, so it really moves even though it's an hour long. You're almost at 100 versus videos at 10, Rexy. Yeah, almost, because I got a couple of videos in there, like one that was talking about a copyright claim, and I put that in the playlist. And I think there's another video that's kind of like in the same vein, so almost 100 versus videos. Yeah, that's a lot of versus videos. Eric, I saw the very first episode of Batman the Animated Series. It was awesome. I need to watch the rest of it. All of season 1, I need to complete. I don't really plan to see seasons 2 or 3. Try to watch all of the seasons. They're really good. Is the Mario Versus video still being made? Yes, it is. I'm writing that, and I'm also writing the Mortal Kombat Versus video, plus the K-pop video, which just before this live stream started, I recorded the intro and the outro. And also, I've got the Punisher One Last Kill review coming, as well as a Daredevil Born Again Season 2 video coming. And also, I've got some Patreon reaction videos coming. So the Studio Ghibli movie that we watched on the watch party recently, I've got my reaction coming to that on Patreon. I've also got my full unedited reaction of Daredevil Born Again Season 2's finale on my Patreon, which I uploaded a couple days ago. And I've also got a reaction of the Punisher, the new Punisher special, One Last Kill. I've got that coming to Patreon soon as well. So plenty of content for you guys on Patreon, and you'll have some edited down versions of those videos on YouTube, as well as my versus videos and reviews coming. So plenty of content on the way. Time Shadow says, have you got any special versus video planned to make a hundred of them? I've not really got one planned. I just want to go through what's on my list, my to-do list of versus videos. But I guess there's one video that could be 100 special. But it's not really a special in terms of it means something for the versus videos. More like a special in the sense that it was a video I've wanted to make for a while. And it's based on something I watched as a kid, and it really means a lot to me. At least when I was a kid. I don't watch it now, but it was a versus video I wanted to do with that, and I'm sure it meant a lot to other people as well because it's a very popular franchise. And it's yeah, it's something that I've considered. Um, but I guess there's another versus video that I've got an idea for 100th, but I don't know. It's hard to decide. Do you guys have any ideas for 100th versus video? What that could be? I'd be curious to know. And who knows? I just might do it if it's an idea that really strikes me. Joey says, "Hey Eric, how did you like Toy Story 4 the second time on your watch party? Was it better or worse than when you first saw it?" I think it was about the same. Uh, so yeah, I think it was just about the same, really. I except I thought it was just as pointless as it was the first time I saw it. So I think that's what I really thought on that one. Super Michael, thank you for doing a super chat, Super Michael, and it's great to see you in the chat. He says, I feel bad for Charles Dance. He is always playing the mean dad. Well, he's being typecast, but hey, a paycheck is a paycheck, isn't it? Especially that's what a lot of these actors do. But yeah, it would be nice for him to branch out more. Maybe he's not being given the opportunity. I don't know. But he's in a Batman movie, so that should be good. That should be cool, shouldn't it? It's not just playing any mean dad, it's playing Harvey Dent's mean dad. Let's see. Eric, did you ever seen DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, and Goof Troop growing up as a kid in the 90s? Did you also see Kim Possible growing up? Kim Possible I did see. It wasn't my favorite show, but it would come on quite a bit and I would watch that. Yeah. I also saw Even Stevens, which has the voice of Kim Possible in there. Ren Stevens in that. Harry Potter versus video, they'd work actually quite well because each pair of them is similar in tone, so I'd say it's definitely worth considering. A Harry Potter versus video is not a bad idea, although I've been thinking of doing a Harry Potter ranking video like I did with Scream. How does that sound? Do you guys think that sounds like fun? Although I have thought of doing a Harry Potter versus video a long time ago. I thought of doing 1, 2, and 3 versus each other, then 4, 5, 6, and 7 versus each other, and in the end I would rank them was something I think I was going to do with scores, not with rankings, but with scores, and say basically now you know my thoughts on the first 3, now you also know my thoughts on 4 to 7. That's basically it. Now you can just like assign my ranking based on my scores for all of them. That was originally what my idea was going to be, but that was a long video to make that I didn't even really get started on. It was quite daunting to do. Hey Eric, imagine Michael Bay directed the Batman Part 2. No, there's no thoughts to give on that. I'm not even going to humor that because I don't want to. That'll give me nightmares. The Dark Lord of the Sith says, well, now on episode 9 and more, wish my excitement luck. Good luck. I'm on episode 1. I have not started yet. Josh Brand says, Eric, how's it going on the Versus video on Mario Galaxy Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat's making a lot of progress. Mario Galaxy, I need to watch Sonic 2 again, because I've been writing on it based off of memory, and now I've hit a wall. So I need to watch that again. I also have to skim through the Mario movie. The Mario movie. But that's coming together nicely too. They're both coming together nicely. It's just I'm trying to balance all of these projects, and it's a lot. I even worked on writing the script for another commission video. It was the Twilight of the Gods. I've been writing my script on that, so that's going to be a fun video. That was commissioned to me a while ago. I need to really catch up on these because they take a long time to make. But that's also another one I'm working on, so yeah. Are we in the Q&A, says Big Bash? I guess, yeah, we can go in the Q&A now. So, yeah, any questions you guys want to ask? By all means, now's your chance. We'll close off this stream in 10 minutes. So, yeah, ask your questions. Bane and Deathstroke is a comedy. I must have missed that. Yeah, they've hired a comedic director to do it. That is no good that they've hired a comedic director to do that. Yeah. They've hired a comedic director to potentially direct it, and that means that it could end up being a comedic movie. So, yeah. Did you hear that? Matthew Lillard hate being casted because of nostalgia. I did. Yeah. I mean, at least he is being casted, though. So there's a lot of actors that can't even say they're being casted. So, yeah, I think he should, take that in his stride, really. Eric, how was Mortal Kombat 2? Mortal Kombat 2. I thought, I don't want to say anything because I'm writing a versus video, but there was a lot of stuff I enjoyed in that movie, but there were also a lot of problems I had with the film as well. Did you ever get around to finishing Stranger Things, Eric? No, I didn't. I got very busy, and also I was just hating the show so much with what they were doing that my sister also, she came, and when she told me about the second half, she saw the second half. I hadn't. She really put me off. I remember. did you see the brand new trailer for the Odyssey? And you know, there's been a lot of backlash and controversy surrounding Christopher Nolan's new movie. Yeah, there has been controversy surrounding it, but it's stuff that we don't quite know yet. I get the controversy. For me, I thought the trailer did not really look like a Christopher Nolan movie for the first time. It looked like it could almost have been directed by any director. Like if you didn't tell me it was Christopher Nolan that directed it, so that's not a good sign coming from him. And apparently, there's rumors going around that Elliot Page might be playing Achilles. And if that's the case, that is not a good casting, so we'll have to see. So I can see where the controversy is coming, but we'll have to I think we'll have to see, I think. So, yeah. Eric, are you going to watch and review Scary Movie 6 when it comes out? We'll see. Uh I'm sure I'll want to see it. It's coming out next month, isn't it? I'll try. I'll definitely try. Yeah, a lot of movies coming out, isn't it? Here we go. I'm more looking forward to Brand New Day because it will have more patterns than the Odyssey. What did you say there? Let me read that again. Where did that go? Oh, did you remove that? Because it didn't sound right when I read it. Brandon Skelner as DCU Batman. Nope. I prefer not. He's also kind of embroiled in controversy as well because of the whole situation with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I don't think that you want that kind of heat on a Batman role like that. If you had to say, what is your favorite parody movie? Hot Fuzz, because that is parodying all the action movies, isn't it? I'm looking forward to Brand New Day because it will get more attention than the Odyssey. Oh, hi, Movie King. Great to see you, bud. Although we're going to be ending the stream in a bit because I'm getting tired and I've still got videos to edit. Yeah. The plan is that next week you're going to get the K-pop Demon Hunters review, which was commissioned. The week after that, I'm hoping to get the Twilight of the Gods review done, which was also commissioned. And then the week after that, I'm also looking into doing some Let's Watch commissions, which apparently will be coming through, hopefully, soon, because I think I can get those done. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff to do. £1 donation from the Time Shadow. Thank you very much for that, bud. He says Harry Potter ranking video could be cool, especially with the new show coming out this December. I think a would be fun. Maybe doing 4 to 7 in one video might be a bit tough since you like to go into a lot of detail in versus videos. Sounds cool though. Yeah, but that's a good idea. But I want to. I think I want to know more about it first. Like, I'm just trying to think, what could I really say? Because there's a lot to say about them, but also it's like, how much do I want to reference the books? That's something I've not quite figured out because the books have a lot of stuff that they cut in the movie. So it's very difficult to kind of decide on all of those. Yeah, very, very difficult. Yeah. All right, 4 more minutes and then I'm out, guys. So I feel like I want to rest, but I've got to get the K-pop review edited, and then I've got to get the Twilight of the Gods review for next week edited, and then the week after that, I mean, And then I'm going to also try to work on other commission stuff while also working on the versus stuff that I'm doing and the reviews I'm doing too. Joshman says, do you absolutely hate the movie Sausage Party? And do you think Seth Rogen is a very unfunny person? He can be funny when he wants to. But I don't hate the movie, but I do think the scene at the end was too much. Like, definitely too much. Got a $10 super chat from Spirit Hero. He says it looks like James Gunn isn't really having that much diversity and tone for the DCU. Most of them still feel like his movies, even with different directors. Yeah, so far, he needs to fix that. That's not a good look. Guys, if you want to join me for a chat on Discord, feel free, says Jess. Yeah, if you guys want to do a chat, you can. If I have free time, I'll jump in, but our usual scheduled watch parties and Discord chats are every 2 weeks on Sundays. So next week, a week from now, we'll do another Discord video call together as a group. Eric, what is the biggest differences between the Harry Potter books versus the movies? The books are so much more fleshed out and have a lot more going on. The movies are much more simplified. Spirit Hero says, I'll head out now. See you guys next time. Take care, Spirit Hero. Thank you very much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Kevin says, do you have an editor? Only recently, really. Yeah, the Time Shadow. He's been doing some editing work for me for certain videos. He even edited a lot of the footage into the monkey review, and then again, like, you know, I take it in once he's put all the movie footage in, then I put in all my other footage and some additional edits and things like that. But yeah, he did the movie footage, he put in some of the graphic stuff in there, which was cool. I put the Dexter's Lab joke in there, and I put the music in the background and some text and things. But yeah, he's been a very good help when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I really appreciate that. Will you make a Captain Carter plushie? I've never thought of that. Would people buy a Captain Carter plushie? I don't know. Movie King says, also, have you played Sonic Frontiers? If not, definitely play it. It's good. No, I haven't played it, but I want to. I don't know if I'll have time to, though. That's the annoying thing when it comes to a lot of these things, is that there's too much entertainment to, you know, to do. Jess says, hey, Eric, do you think that the Mandalorian movie will suck since Kelly Kennedy is involved? No, this is a Jon Favreau project. I don't know if it will suck, because it's a Jon Favreau project, but we'll see. You never know. But I don't think she had much involvement in this. I don't think. Okay, guys, looks like I'm going to be leaving in 20 seconds. That's when the time runs out. Eric, my 3 comments and what you think. Where is your 3 comments? Between the Harry Potter books versus the movies. The Boys finale could be either good or bad because it's been receiving some bad reviews and some say good. Don't tempt anyone, Eric. When can we expect your reactions to Born Again Season 2 to release on YouTube? I'm going through drafts of it right now with my editor. He's sent me 2 more drafts. Probably tomorrow now I'll watch over them and give him more notes. And then, yeah, when those are done, I'll upload those. But if you want to see them, my reactions now, they are all on Patreon to the final episodes. And you'll very soon, like in a day or 2, you're going to get my reaction to the next the Punisher special as well. And I don't know if you'll get that one on YouTube. I don't think I'll send that to the editor. I'll probably send something else to edit for my editor. So yeah. And if I do reactions as well to Spider-Man Noir, it will also be on the Patreon. I don't think I'll put it on YouTube. There's 2 endings of Sonic Frontiers 2, the bad ending and the true ending. Oh, really? I don't like when games do that, because if you get to the bad ending, it makes you feel like, what did I just play? So yeah. Okay, guys, I think that's basically it. Thank you very much for the super chats. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Time Shadow, as well, for the Stream Labs chats. You guys know I think those are always the best ones. You know, because YouTube doesn't take a small cut from it or anything, so that's always the best way to donate. So yeah, a huge thanks to all of you. I really appreciate you guys joining. It was so nice to chat with all of you. This was a shorter stream, but I've got, like I said, a lot of videos to edit. And yeah, I look forward to seeing all of you guys very soon. Remember, if you want to become a Patreon member and you want to gain access to any trailer reactions and get your name in the credits, get early access to Versus videos, or also if you want to get my Let's Watch and become a Discord member, then all you got to do is go to Patreon, take a look at these, and that is how much it will cost you to support the channel and to get all those perks. Like I said, it really goes towards helping support the channel, so all of that money that goes into supporting me goes back into the channel, and it allows me to do this full time. I mean, how do you think I was able to get this mic as well? It's all because of you guys and your support. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care.